These are high-voltage electricity cables being installed in tunnels 30 metres beneath the central business district of Sydney. Too heavy to be handled manually, the cables are positioned by sophisticated, purpose-built machinery, backed by the skills of an experienced workforce. One Australian company has been undertaking these complex cabling projects for more than 20 years. The result has been a major contribution to the efficiency and reliability of the nation's electricity distribution systems. When Energy Australia began planning a $400 million upgrade of electricity services in the Sydney CBD, the choice of cable installer was not a difficult one. As the leading provider of underground infrastructure services to the high-voltage electricity industry, the Garde company stood out as the most experienced and reliable contractor for the project. Along with an expert cable laying capability, Garde offered the advantages of in-house technical expertise and a vast array of machinery to solve handling challenges. When tunnelling was complete, the Garde field teams and equipment moved on-site, unloading giant drums of cable up to 1,200 metres in length, which weighed more than 20 kilograms a single metre. 4 city substations, 2 of them new, needed to be connected by more than 15,000 metres of cable with a capacity of 132,000 volts. Motorised A-frame stands fitted with hydraulic brakes controlled the unspooling of the cable down vertical shafts into the tunnels below. Manipulating the cable from vertical to horizontal within the tunnel was an exacting task. Despite the weight and thickness, cable can be easily damaged if bending exceeds permitted tolerances. Each cable was installed between the substations in one continuous length and without joins. A purpose-built hauling machine, travelling on tracks, towed the cable through a series of small trolleys along the tunnel floor to the desired destination. The hauling machine then reversed to lift the cable to enable fixing into brackets along the tunnel wall. Cable was winched up 30-metre vertical shafts to the substation terminations before being cut and the ends sealed with a heat shrink cap. Energy Australia technicians then terminated either end. The majority of Garde's work involves laying high-voltage cable in purpose-built trenches. Resembling a concrete bunker, the jointing bay is where electricity authorities join the cables. Garde undertakes all civil works associated with creating jointing bays, using its own experienced construction personnel and equipment. After excavating the site and pouring concrete for the floor and walls, a temporary protective structure is erected above the pit. Within this temperature-controlled environment, cables can be successfully joined in safety and comfort. When joins are completed, Garde removes the structure and reinstates the roadways. Working in busy traffic environments is a normal feature of Garde's operations. The company's installation skills cover both the direct laying of cable within trenches and installing conduits for cable to be pulled through at a later stage. Pulling cable through conduits is an exacting task, sometimes involving single feeds of more than 800 metres of cable at a time. During installation, field crews must ensure the cable does not snag or suffer damage. Tension is monitored by the winch operator, who controls the speed of the haul. A computer built into the winch records tensions until the cable's destination is reached. Every cable laying project has its own set of challenges. This task involved installing new cable between 2 suburban substations. Though distance was not a problem, The physical obstacles made the work extraordinarily complex. The required route for the cable was beneath a major city-bound rail corridor, under a large commercial building car park, and beneath a major highway. The job took extensive planning and setting up before any cable could be installed. Two-way radio communication kept crews in touch with each other as the cable moved through the conduits. Specially fabricated rollers installed under the railway line supported the cable as it was pulled through the tunnel. Access to below-ground areas was restricted by narrow vertical shafts, testing the skills and experience of Garde's field crews at working within confined spaces. On all projects, field crews are issued with a complete range of personal protective equipment. A special suit is worn if there is a risk of asbestos from old conduits. Cable laying projects in heavily built-up areas are extremely demanding, and Garde recognises an obligation to minimise disruption to the public. In achieving this objective, the company has developed sequenced working plans that significantly reduce the time involved in excavating trenches on public roads. As part of a sequencing plan, physical work begins with road sawing. Following immediately behind are the excavation teams and equipment. During excavation, the highest standards of environmental protection are applied. Slurry is collected progressively, while suitable road surface material is preserved for recycling. As soon as trenching is completed, conduits are able to be installed, and the process of backfilling the trench can begin. Backfilling trenches is an important process. The material used has a bearing on the life of the cable. Materials placed around cables can trap heat, causing the cables to fail. This is where the company's soil testing laboratory, Garde Geotherm, comes to the fore. Core samples taken from an excavation are scientifically analysed and assessed in the Garde Geotherm laboratory. By inserting probes into rock and native soil, vital information is gathered about the material and its thermal qualities. From this information, the electricity authorities and engineers can design a total underground cable system. Using locally quarried materials, Garde Geotherm will come up with the best possible mix to meet thermal requirements. By choosing the most efficient backfill mix, heat is able to be dispersed through the surrounding ground, giving cable a longer life. The cable's ratings are maximised and problem hotspots eliminated. Quality testing of backfill material is carried out on site. Thermal testing and treatment of soils are only part of the planning process that Garde undertakes for each cable laying project. During this planning, engineers and highly qualified field workers are often joined by company founder Philip Garde. Decisions are reached on the allocation of staff resources, machinery and equipment to meet the requirements of the job. Through a combination of attention to detail, experience and in-house skills, Garde has an unsurpassed record of successfully installing high-voltage cable. The company carries out all civil works associated with cable laying, using a wide range of specialist machinery and equipment assembled over the years. No matter the size of the cable or the difficulty of location, a quality outcome and timely completion are guaranteed by Garde, Australia's leading specialist in underground high-voltage cable installation.